Hawaiian Islands, the Orient, contact clearance for every 126.5.
And Chalk 6 is taking fire. Okay, convert south of the river. I see you coming to the red guys. I just called them. You see them well.
Since the dawn of the first age, by the elders it was foretold, a mighty cure that would rise when needed most. Their words would inspire enlightenment among the common. As it was prophesied, it has come to pass. Everybody has a podcast.
Well, I've got a whole new respect for truck drivers, and it's not a brand new one. My brother, for a while, drove a truck, and it was a long haul truck over the long haul. And he had called me, and I was off. I think I was in college, and I was just at home, or I was getting ready to leave for college. But he called me, and he was like, "Hey, bro, you want to go with me on my trip? I'll pay you $400 for this week." It was a 5-day trip, $400, 5 days. Riding with my brother. I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And he transported pizza ingredients like flour, sauce, all that shit, meatballs, all that stuff.
The important stuff.
So
You put meatballs on pizza?
Well, I guess it was for sandwiches too, because there definitely was a meatball. So anyway, we load up. It's a refrigerated truck, and we head out, right? And in the middle of the summer, and we go through Louisiana, all the way through Mississippi, Alabama, then to Florida. And in Florida, we U-turned back around, went back, and came back to Texas. This was the most miserable 5 days of my life. Not because I was spending time with my brother, because that was the only part of it that kept me from killing myself. It was literally, you drive different. I drive different now, knowing what the truckers have to go through, because those trucks cannot stop on a dime.
Mm-mm.
But this stupid ass, soccer mom in the SUV will cut them off and slam her brakes on constantly.
Yeah.
So we stop on this trip, and we stop at McDonald's when the trip first starts. And my brother, walks in, and he orders like 5 Big Macs and like 3 orders of fries. And I'm mocking him. I'm like, Jesus, dude. My brother's a big dude, so it didn't seem out of the ordinary, but it was still a lot of food. And I'm laughing at him, and I have like a breakfast burrito because I wasn't that hungry. We didn't eat for 23 hours after that.
Yeah.
Because
these
the thought process is I want to get on the road and not have to stop, right?
Yes, that's exactly right? So we're in the Jacksonville airport. I hadn't eaten in 23 hours. We're in the Jacksonville airport, and a meatball had fallen out of one of the packages and had been rolling around the back of the trailer the entire trip. Right? It was fucking filthy and gross. Right? So I've been whining at my brother for probably 8 hours to feed me. He wouldn't stop. He was just like pedal to the metal. So finally, I'm sitting in the back of this trailer, and I pick up this meatball, and the refrigeration unit had actually started to go out, so the meatball had thawed, right, which makes it even worse. And I pick it up, guys, and I smell it, and it smelled okay, right? It smelled like I could eat it. I'm sure it smelled repulsive, but at that point, I would have ate it. And I put it to my mouth, and my brother walks around the corner, and he's like, "What are you doing? Don't eat that. You'll get sick." And seriously, that was the only thing that stopped me from taking a bite out of it, like an apple. And I was so mad and hungry. We were at the airport in Jacksonville. I grabbed the meatball and I threw it as hard as I could at a 747 that was sitting across the parking lot. So those moral of the story is, if you're gonna go trucking with your brother, fucking eat as much as he does.
Well, now you can't. There's all these rules for truck driving. Like, you can't drive a certain amount of hours.
Yeah, they have driver's logs.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit now. But back in the day, man, it was like, it's just me and the road and fucking my tobacco.
And meth and
and a fucking snort of meth.
Yeah.
But yeah,
good old days,
it's
man.
highly regulated. The company I work for, we have a fleet of trucks, and we audit the driver's logs. The drivers have to keep every 15 minutes. They have to mark what they're doing. It's highly regulated.
Yeah,
but
that sounds really safe while you're driving.
What's that, Ryan?
That sounds really safe while you're driving.
Yeah, that's what I think, right? Because I'm just like an office guy, like I just run the accounting and stuff. But this is the kicker, though, is these guys, not our company, of course, because our company is completely compliant with TxDOT rules. But most drivers will keep a second set of logs, which is their real logs. So they'll have a set of logs that are for the Texas Department of Transportation.
Uh-huh.
Then they'll have their real logs.
Nice.
And that's scary as fuck.
But they get paid off their real logs.
Yeah, but that means they're driving dangerously exhausted. These huge vehicles and putting other people's lives at risk. This is for the long haul drivers, like the people that go out of state and that are over time. But man, that's a tough job. The only thing that saved my sanity that entire trip was the CB radio. I found ways on the CB radio to entertain myself that was absolutely glorious.
Breaker 1-9er, we got a squirrel in our overcoat. Over.
Now what I did is this was after that movie came out with Candy Cane with that.
Yeah.
So my call sign was Candy Cane, and I would say things like, they'll tell you diesel fuel will cure genital herpes, but don't believe them because it just burns. And I would sit there and wait, and you'd hear somebody pick up, boy, you got porcupine in your brain. I mean, just those truck drivers are stereotypically redneck, but golly, man, their job is extremely hard.
That's interesting because I always thought it would be. I mean, I know it's a hassle to get those trucks on and off, but honestly, I'd see that as a really not a lot of stress job. I just turn up some podcasts and hit the fucking road, man.
Well, we actually did some research on this for my company, and the average truck driver weight's 270 pounds.
Shit.
So they're not in peak physical condition.
No.
And I think stress breeds obesity, right? I think stress will actually, your body produces cortisol, and you actually get, it actually you get fatter, and plus they sit on their ass all day. But you got to think, if you're that big and you're sitting in a truck all day, under those conditions, and you're running your body ragged. I mean, it's not like we have Lance Armstrong driving, with his one Tesla driving the truck. I mean, these guys are not in great shape, and they're pushing themselves to the limit, popping meth and taking lot lizards at the truck stop.
You want a half and half for 25 and a cup of coffee?
But the funny part is anytime it's amazing what you see in a big truck, right? This amazing. It just made me feel a little inadequate because the girls would drive by giving roadhead and shit, and like you could in a big truck you could see all the way down to those trucks. So you would see the most amazing stuff in that truck. I mean, it was a great bonding experience for me and my brother, but God, I would never thank God I went to college.
Wait, so how many people did you see with their fucking vag out on one trip?
I saw 3 sets of titties. This is a 5-day trip, right? Yep, from Texas to Florida and back. I saw 3 sets of titties. I saw one guy getting an HJ, an old fashioned, and I saw a BJ.
Classy.
The wrong business, son.
But I believe that people are exhibitionists on the interstate. Like once you get on I-10 and you start heading east, like there's parts through like Louisiana where it's just road and fucking bridge. So it's not like you're in an area where people can see. So I think people just do that to fuck with truckers. The one thing I was upset about, though, nobody gave the hand signal for us to blow the horn once. That's as a kid, that's what I thought every trucker did all day.
So Ryan is going to be with his girlfriend on the interstate. He's like, we should really fuck with some truckers right now. You should totally give me a blowjob.
Yeah. Hey, did you listen to the last podcast episode? Sounds pretty sweet, huh?
Let's totally fuck with that guy over there. Here's my penis.
No, it'll be fun. We're going to mess with him.
Trip on the truck, I'll give you some inside info. Truckers talk the entire time on CB radio. They talk about traffic. They talk about where police are. They talk about a lot of stuff. It's interesting to hear them communicate because they communicate very well. But they'll also talk about you if you're driving like an asshole. And they'll call out your car and the color and everything and the direction you're going. And they'll literally conspire to block you in and fuck you over.
Neat.
That's what they do all day long. They drive, right? So
yeah, you got nothing else to do.
Their trucks go 70 miles an hour, the whole time. Like they have to the floor. If they got a full load, that's what they do, unless they're going downhill. So it's not. They don't have a whole lot to worry about other than not killing you.
Yeah.
So if you drive like a douchebag and a truck cuts you off, just understand that they're talking bad about you.
Well, no, I mean, we troll people on Facebook all day, and they're literally just trolling people at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Because they don't have access to Facebook.
And my brother, Ryan, has I would say he's got the worst road rage on earth.
Part of what you never had is gone and can't be taken.